You are Locked On Rangers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, that did not go according to the script. Here we go. Welcome into the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. I am Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Happy to be with you on this late Friday night. Wish it was after a Rangers win, but thank you anyway for hanging with me, and thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed, and that is where you will find the outstanding work of Bryce Paterick every single day. Well, today, though, a tough Friday for the Rangers, who just continue to struggle in Seattle. I mean, I thought, okay, I'm back. And by the way, I want to say welcome back, and it's good to be with you again. Would love to hear from you via the comment crew if you want to jump in here over the next 20 minutes or so. I was out of town last weekend celebrating my 25th wedding anniversary with my wife. We had a great trip, went to great time off. Also had a chance to go to Globe Life last Sunday. Got to see Kumar Rocker and the walk-off win over the Rays. So everything was good, and I thought, okay, Friday night opener in Seattle, Jacob deGrom on the mound, trying to get his first win, pitcher's ballpark. The Rangers offense has been kind of shaky. Perfect recipe on paper for the Rangers to jump out and grab game one of this series, but it did not go that way. Despite another nice night at the plate for Josh Jung, but Chris Martin and his mistake turned out to be the difference, although Jacob deGrom will be the first to admit that he was just not, it wasn't horrible, but by his standards, he was not perfect or spot on like we've been spoiled and grown accustomed to seeing. Made a few mistakes, and the Mariners, to their credit, they jumped on it and they got the win in the opener 5-3. And if the numbers are correct, in their last 41 games in Seattle going back to 2020, the Rangers are now 8-33. So for whatever reason, that ballpark is just not their park. That's not where they like to play well, but hopefully they can turn that around and do better in the next two games before returning home after Sunday. All right, so let's get right to it, and let's get into this show.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, we will talk a little bit more about the tough start for Jacob deGrom, who remained winless in Seattle. Also, another big game at the plate for Josh Jung. That's got to get you fired up. I mean, that for me, that's really good to see. And really, one mistake for Chris Martin. Really, that's it. Sometimes the game can be that simple. One mistake turned out to be the difference, and that was it. And the game was over in the bottom of the eighth. Tried to throw that little cutter, and it did not move. It did not go where I'm sure Chris wanted it to go. Chris Martin has done a really good job at the back end of that bullpen in the eighth inning, and even late in games, even when he's worked the ninth. But tonight, the Mariners got to him, and that was it. That was the difference, which makes it pretty easy to get into our turning point segment for this show.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. Eighth inning for Chris Martin, who, like I said, he's throwing the ball really, really well and has done a good job. He has been, one of the bright spots in that Rangers bullpen. But in the bottom of the eighth, the tough thing is that the top of the eighth, the Rangers wasted that double the center by Adolis Garcia. Jock Peterson continues to struggle. He fouled out. Chris Jung grounded into the double play, and that was it. And then in the bottom of the eighth, Polanco gets a leadoff hit, and that just kind of set the tone for the inning. And then Raleigh hit the home run to right center, and that was it. 5-3. The Mariners grabbed the opener. Now that was the turning point, but again, it was just a tough start for Jacob deGrom, who is still, and I think that's the beauty. I was thinking about it. I mean, kind of similar to golf in certain ways, where, I mean, these golfers are so good and they're great and they do it every week, and yet, as great as they are, they still have to go out and do it again. And as great as Jacob deGrom is, you still got to go out, and it doesn't matter, like we talked about earlier in the season, after his first start. I mean, all that stuff in the past, the Cy Youngs and the ERA, doesn't matter now. This is a new season, 2025, and so he's got to get back to that point. But I'll say this, for me, the big thing for me is I believe wholeheartedly that deGrom will improve and he'll get better. And I mean, we're still in the middle of April, and it was cold again tonight in Seattle, and I'm not making excuses for him, but I know his command will get better, his feel, his mechanics, his pitching, everything that will get better. I mean, he was still right there. I mean, his stuff tonight, even though it wasn't great Jacob deGrom stuff, even though he was still missing his spots for some of the fastballs, I mean, he was still elite. So I'm not concerned. I mean, selfishly, I want to see him dominate. I mean, selfishly, I want to see him pitch a shutout, and go, 6, 7, 8 innings every time. But they're easing him back. They don't want him to throw a ton of pitches early and not be available late in the season. They want him available for the postseason and a postseason run. So I'm good with that. But tonight, just right from the get-go, you could tell that with the first home run that Jorge Polanco hit. I mean, that was just a little miss on the fastball from deGrom. And then the home run that he gave up in the second to Tellez, that one, I think he was trying to go up to get him to swing, but again, just did not go where he needed it to go. And Tellez was able to jump on that, and just like that, it was 2-0. And I mean, that's how good these guys are. I mean, that's literally that little box for them to be able to put the ball where they want. I mean, it seems so easy, but it's really not. And the guys that can, that's why they get paid what they do, because most people can't do that. And you know that as well. So he was just a little bit off with his fastball command. You could tell that was what he was the most comfortable with. Thought he threw some good curves, but the slider wasn't really there. And again, it's not like the Mariners scored 14 runs. It just a little bit off. And unfortunately, there's still some bats in this Ranger offense that are struggling and just need to get going. Josh Jung did his part. The other Josh Smith, continues to play great. I mean, man, the fact that he's batting third just kind of tells you about where he's at and where the rest of the offense is at. Of course, I know Wyatt Langford right now. He's on the DL or the IL. Hopefully, it's not a serious strain and he'll be back. But Jung brought him back, and I thought, in the eighth after Adolis got that double, I thought, okay, here we go. This is where the Rangers are going to win. They're going to get the run, and the bullpen is going to shut them down. But Seattle, they've had sneaky wins like this so far this season, even though they're only 6-8 now. So, hey, one game, and hopefully the Rangers will be able to bounce back and get to it tomorrow night. But I want to see the Rangers offense get going and really kind of get on track, and maybe tomorrow night will be the night that they can kind of jump on this Mariners staff, because the Mariners really they bank everything on their starting rotation. Their bullpen though is not elite, and I think the Rangers can do some damage there, and hopefully it'll be a good start on the road for Kumar Rocker as he tries to follow up on his win over the weekend against the Rays. All right, when we come back, our player of the game, and also we will get to your comments via the comment crew. So please jump in and share your thoughts on tonight's game or where the team is at or anything else. We want to hear from you. That's what we're here for. We are live and happy to be with you. Not happy after the results, though. The Rangers fall on the road to Seattle 5-3. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. All right, well, we need to talk about what they're doing at Supply House. We've been talking about them a lot, and we will continue to do so. At Supply House, you can get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House, whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy to use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you will always talk to a real person. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, welcome back to the Rangers POSTCAST. Rangers fall in Seattle 5-3. Let's hear from you via the comment crew. Ramon Herrera is not happy with the loss. The Real Deal says winless Jacob deGrom is my concern. O'Malley says Martin just had a bad outing for me. The bigger problem today was Jock Peterson. And the Real Deal says we haven't played well in a game won every series so far outside of the sweep of Tampa Bay. Yep, those are all excellent points and all right on. Absolutely. Jock Peterson is really struggling, like really bad. He did get a walk today, but yeah, he is scuffling, and you know what? He's a pro, and he'll get going. I don't know if Bruce might give him a day off, although he just had one yesterday, so I don't think he needs one. I think he's just got to keep grinding, get out there for some early BP, but he is struggling. Jake Berger really is struggling as well. Leody Taveras, I think, is kind of thinking a little bit. He had that incident where he was in the second. He was rung up for that pitch clock violation, and that's just kind of like a mental thing that's not good. So yeah, the offense is scuffling, and there's just I keep saying it, they're too good. I think part of it could be too that they're just, I think everybody like 23 was just a special season, right? It was just nobody really predicted it, and they just came out of the gates and had fun and were loose and enjoyed the process and got it done. Whereas this season, there's the pressure of not only bouncing back from a very disappointing last season with a lot of injuries, but there's the expectation now this season of, okay, now that you guys are healthy, you got to do this, and you should win the division, and you should make it back to the World Series. And I'm not saying that they're thinking about that when they step on the field, but I mean, clearly there is an internal pressure and expectation to win and to dominate and to do well. And it just seems like collectively, they just need to just kind of exhale a little bit. And I think they're just waiting just to have one of those games where everybody gets going and some of that pressure is lifted. And, it could be just a big game for the Bats, for Peterson, or one of the guys that's struggling. Could be a strong start that kind of turns things around. But nonetheless, tomorrow's, you don't want, it's one thing to lose the opening game of a series, but you don't want to get into the routine of losing series. You want to at least win 2 out of 3 as often as you can, if not more. So, I mean, that makes tomorrow night, it's a big game. It's early, it's mid-April, but nonetheless, this is, the Rangers' first shot at the division. I think it's really, really important to do well within your division. And again, it's early, but I mean, this is a Mariner team that, has been, quote unquote, up and coming for how many years now, right? And so you want to kind of send a message like, okay, yeah, you guys are better and you may be improved, but we're still the big dogs. We're still the big brother. You're still the little brother, and we're not giving up the division title or anything like that anytime soon. So big game tomorrow night. All right, Mick Jowers says Jock Peterson should take a darkness retreat. Hey, I mean, he's got all day tomorrow before the game tomorrow night. I'm sure he could find something like that, in Seattle there. But yeah, he's got to get going for sure. All right, let's get to our player of the game for this one tonight.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Well, again, got to give it up to Josh Jung, who continues to mash since coming back. Third game back, had 2 more hits tonight, including the RBI hit and the big 2-run homer to right to tie the game. Oppo, that was great to see. That was a great at bat and a great swing. And hopefully, between he and Josh Smith and, Corey Seager he had the 2 home run game the other day. Hopefully, between those 3, they can kind of get the other guys going. I thought, Garcia started really well, and he had another hit tonight that we've talked about. But the rest of that lineup has got to get going. I loved the Josh Smith bunt tonight. I thought that was great. I said this before when Leote had his hit. The more, whatever it takes to put pressure on the opposing team and try to get as much pressure and chaos and havoc on the bases that they can. I am in favor of that all day long. So anyway, props to Josh Jung. And again, we'll see what happens tomorrow in Game 2 with Kumar Rocker on the mound. One final comment. Paul Wilson says, "Where have you been, man? Missed the postcast." Paul, thank you. I appreciate it. I won't TMI you guys, but the beginning of the week was my 25th anniversary. My wife and I, we had a little getaway trip planned well before the season or the show. So I got back Wednesday night, did my Mavs postcast, and then Thursday was a day off, and I'm back now. So barring, I think there might be a couple of games over the summer that I'm going to miss, but that should be it for a while. I will be with you after all the games, doing the postcast, and of course, Bryce Patrick will continue to do his outstanding work on the daily Rangers podcast. But Paul, I appreciate the kind words. Miss you guys too. I hate. I remember I was traveling when my wife and I got married, and I missed a trip back in the day there to Montreal, and never made it there. Never went back, and so I missed that. And so I hate missing games, but that's when that was the time that we picked for our anniversary, which I wouldn't change. That I love that. And the wedding was great 25 years ago, and we had a great trip this week. Wonderful time. But hey, good to be back, and we just got to get the Rangers going, get the bats going, and get back into the win column tomorrow night. Don says the bullpen is falling apart. Well, I hope not. I mean, Chris Martin unfortunately had the worst time to have a bad night in the worst moment. 3-3 tie in the 8th. I hope that he is not falling apart. But I thought, Mark Church looked better, and Hobie Milner. His first game against the Red Sox, I made that comment about how I'm not a big fan of sidearm submarine pitchers, and the guy's been like a Cy Young candidate ever since I made that comment. So yeah, he's doing great. Now, but hey, look, they're not dominating. Jacob deGrom is still winless, and the offense is still not going. But you know what? It's mid-April, and I'm good with that because it's a really, really long season, and I'm not discounting these games at all. But we want this team cranked up and hot and peaking at the right time. So as long as they look, like I said, you lose the opener, you want to come back and win the next 2, and then hopefully when you get back home, win the opener and kind of stop this whole trend of losing the first game of a series. But big game tomorrow night with Kumar Rocker on the mound, Game 2 with the Mariners. I will be with you after the game. Hope that you can join me then, but thank you. I know it's late. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow night. This has been the Rangers Postcast. Have a good night.